Hi, my name is Lauren Farr, and I'm going to be doing my presentation on how deaf influencers are molding awareness on social media. The objective of this project is to understand how deaf influencers use social media to educate and influence hearing followers. Two, view how their content bridges cultural gaps in autism. And three, show ways that allies and educators can support visibility and accurate representations of the deaf community. The significance of this topic and why I chose to do it is because social media is a primary source that millions and millions of individuals are using daily, including me. I use it all the time, and I'm like often looking for new things that I don't know about, new things to learn, and new people to follow. So, according to Ellis and Kent, written in 2017, it's a primary source of cultural learning. Deaf representation online is still very limited and not well known. These influencers show real, authentic experience in their everyday lives. Whenever I was trying to find a list of a few people, it was very hard to find a few people at a list that were influencers because not many have the publicity yet or the followers yet. And how this connects to the course content that we've learned so far. This project relates to course content we have learned by showing autism in these influencers' lives, deaf identity, becoming an ally to the deaf community, and community representation. This kind of is the stepping stone of like how you can start. Like some people start off with the autisms because they don't know a lot about the deaf community or care to. And then once they start following these influencers and becoming involved, they learn about the deaf identity and then become an ally and show community representation. Deaf culture and social media background. Deaf individuals have been previously described on films for not being as smart as their peers, not viewed as equal to hearing people, and often were mocked in the previous films depicting individuals. In the Cultural Film Report number 3, this really touches on it a lot because there was one point in the film whenever there was a deaf person that was being explained, like a character, and he was viewed as like inferior to the hearing people while they were superior to him just because he was deaf and they were hearing. These visual apps, such as Instagram and TikTok, allow deaf individuals to share their ASL stories and share their lives through these platforms. Since these are platforms where you can see and hear at the same time, it's very good for ASL to come out because you're able to show your hand signs doing ASL rather than just on a social media that doesn't have these visual platforms. These platforms can also have captions to them as well. I recently found out that to all of these apps, you can find captions to them so that it's accessible for everyone. Due to a rise in TikTok viewers, it is easy to see videos that one may not think to look up, such as someone doing ASL or talking about their deaf experiences. Seeing one of these videos and interacting with them lay down the pathway to seeing more and more videos like this that fit your algorithm. Especially on TikTok, if you like a video or watch the video all the way through, it's more likely to show up on your For You page over and over again just because you interacted with the first time, which shows more of the content. Key deaf influencers, here are just a few that I was able to find. There's Chrissy Marshall, and her content is directed to posting educational videos for hearing allies and ways to support. Chella Man, their platform is designed to show representation and intersectionality to the deaf and genderqueer community because he is they are a part of both communities. So this also ties into the intersectionality that we learned in previous chapters before. Nal DeMarco, well-known actor and model that is deaf and advocates for deaf education and language rights. Elizabeth Harris spreads awareness of the importance of ASL and provides many song interpretations using ASL. Whenever I was looking at these, she was very interesting to watch because she takes many hard songs that have lots of verses in them and puts them into an ASL clip. And then how these influencers spread awareness. Many attributes that stood out to me when looking at these influencers to talk about. They shared their story of growing up being deaf or hard of hearing and how it impacted their lives. This really led to us being in their lives and just understanding their past and how they have grown and learned to accept their community. While doing this, they were also able to provide humor in their stories, which kept me and other viewers really interested and hooked. Provided ASL awareness such as the grammatical setups of a sentence, vocabulary, and many lessons, showed advocacy for their deaf community, and responded to autism and how to avoid making hurtful comments. Cultural impact. Deaf creators definitely have influenced a rise in hearing individuals interested in learning ASL. Even if they may not know all the deaf history behind ASL, they were beginning to look more into it and develop a love for practicing signs. On the videos that I've seen, there are a lot of people that comment that this is what started them interested in ASL and their love for it. Hearing individuals have also been able to see autism they may have not recognized before. After watching these videos, they may push more for captions on videos and standing up for the deaf community when they hear comments being made about a deaf person. What research shows? Research shows that the more these influencers put out their videos advocating for their community, the less bias is repeated against deaf individuals. Watching these content creators repeat ASL and repeat teaching deaf history, the more viewers are able to understand their background and what makes up their culture. It also shows that captioning increases viewer engagement, not just for deaf individuals. If a video is on and only has captions, the viewer is forced to watch the video thoroughly and understand what is going on. Barriers deaf influencers still face. Influencers may face the trouble of captioning in their videos not showing up correctly and could lead to viewer confusion. The same could also happen vice versa. If the captions are messing up a hearing video while a deaf individual is trying to watch it, it can lead to viewer confusion. Hearing creators gaining more views for ASL videos rather than the deaf creators making them. Lack of support in their community because a large number of influencers are hearing rather than deaf. How we can support them. One way we can support deaf visibility is by following and supporting the deaf content creators that discuss deaf culture and ASL rather than the hearing ones, even though they are still important. Rather than participating in ASL trends that can be going around, focus on the deaf culture background rather than being performative. Deaf influencers truly are reshaping social media and transforming biased views hearing people may have made about them. Social media is providing powerful tools that are adapting to all sorts of individuals with different backgrounds, different cultures, and we must do our best to support these efforts in the deaf community. Here are my references. Thank you.